Okay, the exercise to follow is creating the action in my foot here in this ski session. This is one skiing mostly on my left foot, but my foot is making the actions that are shown in this follow-on exercise. Practice it a lot.
Okay, so I think I got onto the challenges, the measures. How do we, um, how do we quantify the change that's going on, and how does it affect skiing? Okay, so we need data set from skiing, like beginning of the season, and then the actual movements that are made, the exercise movements, a videotape of those, so it shows symmetry and skill of making the movement patterns. So we measure those two against each other to measure change. Yeah. So that last one was the full tracing out full range of motion turns, and then tracing back heels first. Okay, tracing back heels first with parallel legs, actions, all the actions in the ankle working to complement a turn on skis. So both edges are turning and gripping at the same time. Okay.
Okay, the exercise to follow is creating the action in my foot here in this ski session. This is one skiing mostly on my left foot, but my foot is making the actions that are shown in this follow-on exercise. Practice it a lot.
Turning all the way, both edges are working exactly, not like that, exactly at the same time. Okay, that's the control we want with our feet, because we're going to do that skiing. It's really fun. All right, so another measure you can do, if you had some music, you can just, something that has a pretty quick beat, you just go with it with the foot ankle movements. There's 3 of them. Okay, so you can play with those, combine them all together for a fourth, and measure your coordination to start off with. Okay, so coordination of flapping the feet. See if you could do it and stay in this plane without the feet going out, without the feet going in. The fronts of the foot like they're pushing against a wall. Okay, so that's a measure. Can you control your feet in extension like they're pushing against a wall? Okay, or does one like turn? Okay, so study that, and so see how many you can do before failure, and that'll be your measure, a quantifiable measure. Okay, how many can I do before I see failure, where one foot's going before the other significantly? See, I already see a difference in my 2 feet. My left foot is shaking. Stay with me and measure where you go failure. If you go to failure, then slow down, but keep this same movement going. You can focus your attention on one foot at a time and see if you can keep them together. Okay, so I'm starting to get failure right there. Okay, that one was firing out of time with this one. Okay, so that's a measure. I can go back, I can count, and I can copy that video and see if I can avoid failure the next time I try it, which means I have more control over that motor skill. Okay, so videotape yourself. It's a must, because your counts are there. You just have to follow the videotape, and then if you surpass it, well, you're good. Keep going. Videotape that one too. Okay, so the other movement is turning the foot side to side. Okay, and this one we're going to isolate the movement to where the toes try to point straight up and down. We don't want to turn it like out. Okay, we just want to control the edging ability of the foot. So meditate on the toes and make sure they kind of stay in the same parallel relationship and they're pointing straight in the air. Okay. And I like to push against the limits. Creates more heat. Making sure my knees are moving because of the hip activating to keep up with the foot. It's easy to be late. It's easy to be late on the internal rotation. So you could change your focus while you're doing this, trying to burn out and find failure of the feet working together. Okay, you can change your focus to the knees and driving the groin muscle to internally rotate the knee. So there's a lot of things that keep this parallel relationship together and keep the feet moving together. Okay, and you can go back to just straight ahead. We're just keep the toes in the air. Okay, if I start losing this, which I think I did, okay, that's failure. Okay, so I lost form. Okay, I want to make sure that that relationship stays parallel. Okay, so I'll look at the video and I'll see how far I went, or I'll follow it, and I know when I surpassed my past. So I know my improvement. Okay, so this is how we're going to record keep. So you have to take your video. It's good. It's a good documentary on yourself. Okay, so that's the one, and then we got the third movement for the ankle. Okay, remember these are components of this bigger dance. Okay, to get these feet to articulate like this, we have to develop the coordination and control over each component, the extension, okay, the edging, and the rotation of the foot. We can rotate the ski basically about the heel. Okay, if we have a pressure right here and around the heel, we could rotate that ski by turning the foot. Okay, so and that when we do rotate the ski, it also changes the edge of the ski. Okay, so you can see that changes it to this edge here. You'll be carving a turn, and when we steer it around that turn, it's going to change to this edge here. Inside edge, outside. Okay, so the third thing to practice is waves. Just wave at the camera. Okay, your edging is going to happen as well. Okay. You try to keep the heels in the same spot. Okay, my left, I had a glitch there already, a failure, so I'm going too fast. I gotta slow down to where I don't have any failure. I like to try to keep these guys parallel and symmetrical, and maybe so I'm right aligned with the center, my body, which I may or may not be. But there's a lot of things you can do with that. Okay, so we're gonna burn this out and see where failure is. My failure is coming right here, keeping my legs up so long. Okay, you can raise them in the air to get a little break. You can see the parallel relationship up there, a little easier to hold. Burn those out. Okay, I feel this one go, and it's a little failure on there. Okay, and those are the three components of this is the fourth move, is to just articulate those feet with all those movements, okay? So here, rotated, turned edges, okay? And we get a little extension control. We're not getting a full extension, but we're using those muscles. We're engaging those muscles to control the terrain, okay? So you want to see how you can, this is like an egg beater almost, okay? You can egg beat them as long as the relationships are staying, and then you can start this tracing and retracing with the heels. Okay, that's where you're blending them together and getting to the dance, and then you'll go practice the dance, the whole movement, different range of motions, and videotape yourself, and it will change. The good part is, the fun part is learning where this fits into skiing, which we'll get there.
Okay, the exercise to follow is creating the action in my foot here in this ski session. This is one skiing mostly on my left foot, but my foot is making the actions that are shown in this follow-on exercise. Practice it a lot.